Greetings everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is July the IT guy and I'm back here with another packet tracer lab. This is lab 3.4.5, configure trunks. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We are provided with the addressing table. We have 5 end devices, PC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with their corresponding IP addresses, subnet masks, and switch port interfaces along with their designated VLANs. Alright, so some of the objectives listed here are Part 1, verify VLANs. Part 2, configure trunks. Alright, so background. Trunks are required to pass VLAN information between switches. A port on a switch is either an access port or a trunk port. Access ports carry traffic from a specific VLAN assigned to the port. A trunk port by default is a member of all VLANs, therefore it carries traffic for all VLANs. This activity focuses on creating trunk ports and assigning them to a native VLAN other than the default. So as we know, default VLAN is VLAN 1, which is the default configuration for an out-of-the-box switch. Alright, so moving along, instructions, part 1, verify VLANs. Step 1, display the current VLANs. So on switch 1, issue the command that will display all VLANs configured. There should be 10 VLANs in total. Notice that all 26 access ports on the switch are assigned to VLAN 1. Alright, so let's move on to switch 1. Here to the lab. Click switch 1, it's powered on, prompting us to the command line interface. Click enter, and let's do the command show VLAN brief. Alright, there we see it. VLAN 10, 20, 30, 88, 99 are created or configured. And then switch 2 and 3 display and verify that all VLANs are configured and assigned to the correct switch ports according to the addressing table. Alright, so let's go to switch 2. Enter user exec mode. Show VLAN brief. Alright, so this one, fast Ethernet 0/11 is pointing to PC1, and let's verify if that's correct or not. So PC1 correct, it is assigned to VLAN 10. Then interface fast Ethernet /18 is pointing towards PC2. Alright, PC2 is VLAN 20, and it is correct. And then fast Ethernet interface 04/6 is pointing towards PC3. And PC3 is designated to VLAN 30. Alright, so yep, we are correct. Now let's cross-check with switch 3, same scenario. Let's go and do a show VLAN brief. And let's confirm. Alright, so this one, fast Ethernet 0/11 is pointing towards PC4. So let's see what PC4 is assigned to VLAN 10. Is that correct? Yes, it is correct. Fast Ethernet 04/18 is pointing to PC5. Let's see what's PC5 is VLAN 20. It is correct. And then the last interface, fast Ethernet 04/6 is pointing to PC6. And PC6 is allocated to VLAN 30. It is correct. Alright, so it appears it is correct. Alright, so step 2, verify loss of connectivity between PCs on the same network. Ping between hosts on the same VLAN, on the different switches. Although PC1 and PC4 are on the same network, they cannot ping one another. This is because the ports connecting to the switches are assigned to VLAN 1 by default. In order to provide connectivity between the PCs on the same network and VLAN, trunks must be configured. Alright, so let's do that. Let's move on to part 2, configure the trunks. All right, so step 1, configure. Now we're getting to the actual configuration part. Configure trunking on switch 1 and use VLAN 99 as the native VLAN. So let's go on to switch 1. Now we're going to enter configuration mode. So let's go ahead and type enable to escalate to privilege exec mode, and then config T, configuration, configure terminal. The full command to enter global configuration mode, and is asking us to assign configured gigabit 0/1 and gigabit 0/2 interfaces on switch 1 for trunking. All right, so let's go and enter those interfaces by entering the command interfaces range, because it's 2 interfaces, gig 0/1 to 2. There we go. And the mode would be switch port mode. In this case, it's trunk. We'll be configuring these as trunk ports. All right, so interfaces are up now. And switch port trunk native VLAN 99. All right, that's completed. So let's go ahead and end to exit this interface. All right, back to user exec mode, or you can go backwards by using the exit command. It'll just drop down or to the previous mode, which would be privilege, and then a user exec mode. All right, so moving on, configure VLAN 99, which we did already as a native VLAN for gigabit 0/4/1 and gigabit 0/4/2 on interfaces on switch 1. We've done that. The trunk port takes about a short time to become active due to the spanning tree protocol. Click fast forward time. All right, so it's already been verified. You configure VLAN 99 as the native VLAN on switch 1. However, switch 2 and 3 are using VLAN 1 as the default native VLAN, as indicated by the syslog messages. Okay, there we go. And we see we have a mismatch in the native VLANs. Therefore, we will need to configure the other 2 switches, 2 and 3, corresponding to VLAN 99 as the native VLAN. All right, although you have a native VLAN mismatch, pings between PCs on the same VLAN are now successful. All right, explain. All right, so yes, they are successful because you do have a default VLAN and they are configured on the same VLAN. So, but moving on, let's go ahead and just ensure that the other 2 switches are configured with the native VLAN of 99. So step 2, verify trunking is enabled on switch 2 and 3. On switch 2 and 3, issue the show interfaces trunk command. So let's do that. Switch 2, enter, and as you can see, we also get those immediate corresponding messages indicating we have a mismatch on the native VLAN. We'll take care of those in a minute, but now let's do the show interface trunk. This one is on switch 2, and it is giving us a trunking on native VLAN 1. So switch 2. Now let's see what switch 3 is indicating. So the same, show interface trunk. All right, so yep, it is giving us the native VLAN, and again, switch 1 would be on VLAN 99. So show interface trunk. So there we go. All right, so let's see here. Trunking with switch 1 and 2. The output also displays information about the trunk interfaces on switch 2 and 3. You will learn more about DTP, which is a dynamic trunking protocol later on the course. Which active VLANs are allowed to cross the trunk? Let's see here. So we can see based on the output is indicating that on gigabit 0/4/1 and 2, VLANs allowed on trunk are 1 through 1005, which are the normal range VLANs. And also just want to point out that on switches, we can create up to 4096, which is the maximum number of VLANs. The normal range will be the first 1 through 1005, and then you will go to the extended range, which would be 1006 all the way to 4096. But as listed here, these are already allowed. And these specifically are allowed and active in management domain, which are VLANs 1, 10, 20, 30, 88, and 99 on both ports, gigabit 04/1 and 2. Same goes here. All right, so let's go ahead and ensure that we configure the native VLAN on both ports. On both switches. So in this case, let's go ahead and input the same command. Let's enable to escalate to privilege exec mode, and then do config T, global configuration mode. Let's do interface range, same ports, 0/1 to 2. Switch port mode will be trunk. And let's configure the switch port trunk as a native VLAN 99. And this, all right, so here we go. Oops, Control F6 to exit the translating domain. So now switch 2 is completed. Let's move on to switch 3. Execute the same command. So enable config T, interface range, gigabit 0/1 to 2. Oh, I'm missing a 2. There we go. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Okay, 2. And then enter the switch port mode trunk command. And switch port trunk native VLAN 99. And there you have it. Now let's go ahead and exit. And as you can see, now that all VLANs or native VLANs are matching, we get the corresponding unblocking gigabit Ethernet 0/1 on VLAN 1 port consistency restored. There we have it. Let's end this. Close out. And as you can see, completion rate is now complete at 100%. Let's check the results. Good to go. So switch 1 native VLAN is correct and is assigned to the appropriate corresponding interfaces on gigabit gigabit 0/1 and 2. Same applies to switch. Well, actually, switch 2 is native VLAN of 99 and its interface on gigabit Ethernet 0/1. And lastly, switch 3 ports gigabit Ethernet 0/2/2 again for the native VLAN. I'll complete it. Thank you guys again for joining me on this journey to acquiring a CCNA certification. Hope this video benefits you guys in the technical realm, and again, appreciate it very much. So thanks everyone. Hope you guys have a great day.